Were Nimrod and Gilgamesh the same? The ancient world is shrouded in mystery. Myths and legends intertwine with historical figures. This makes it difficult to separate fact from fiction. Nimrod, a mighty hunter and king, and Gilgamesh, a king seeking immortality. Could they be the same person? The question has captivated scholars for centuries. Some argue the similarities are striking, others remain unconvinced. Let's delve into the evidence and explore this historical puzzle. Echoes in the myths, circumstantial evidence. At first glance, the stories of Nimrod and Gilgamesh seem to share some intriguing parallels. Both are described as powerful kings, renowned for their strength and accomplishments. Both are associated with the city of Uruk, a significant urban center in ancient Mesopotamia. These parallels have led some scholars to conclude that they are indeed the same individual, known by different names in different traditions. However, this evidence is largely circumstantial. The connections are based on interpretations of shared motifs and themes, rather than concrete historical proof. Critics argue that these similarities could simply reflect common tropes in ancient mythology, rather than a direct link between the two figures. The lack of definitive proof makes it difficult to draw firm conclusions. Shinleki Unini, the Weaver of Tales. To further complicate matters, the Epic of Gilgamesh, as we know it today, is not necessarily an accurate reflection of the original stories. Scholars believe that the most complete version we have was compiled by a Babylonian scribe named Shinleki Unini around the 13th century BCE. Shinleki Unini likely drew from older, fragmented tales and traditions, weaving them together to create the epic we know today. This means that the Gilgamesh of the epic may be a composite character, drawing on elements from various sources, including potentially stories about Nimrod. Shinleki Unini's role as editor and compiler adds another layer of complexity to the question of whether Nimrod and Gilgamesh are one and the same. It highlights the challenges of reconstructing the past from fragmented and often reworked sources. Section 4. Fact and Fiction in Ancient Mesopotamia. Renowned scholar Samuel Noah Kramer, a leading figure in Sumerian studies, offered a more skeptical view of the Gilgamesh-Nimrod connection. Kramer argued that Gilgamesh was most likely a fictional creation, a product of Mesopotamian storytelling rather than a historical figure. He saw the Epic of Gilgamesh as a powerful work of literature, exploring universal themes of mortality, friendship, and the human condition, but not necessarily a reliable historical record. Kramer's view highlights the importance of distinguishing between myth and history. While ancient myths can offer valuable insights into the beliefs and values of past cultures, they should not be interpreted as literal accounts of historical events. The lines between fact and fiction are often blurred in ancient texts, requiring careful analysis and interpretation. Section 5. A Mesopotamian King Arthur? The relationship between Nimrod and Gilgamesh might be best understood through modern historical fiction. Consider the legends of King Arthur. Arthur is a figure shrouded in myth and folklore, and while historians debate his existence, the Arthurian legends are deeply ingrained in British culture. It's possible that Arthur, like Gilgamesh, was a composite figure, inspired by real individuals but mythologized over time. Similarly, Gilgamesh, whether or not based on Nimrod, may represent a Mesopotamian King Arthur. His story embodies the values and anxieties of his culture. The Epic of Gilgamesh, like Arthurian legends, speaks to broader truths about humanity.